Welcome to Monday Night Going In Raw. Right here on Etep Wakuians, the place to be reviews. Greetings, salutations. I am here with all of yous. Joining me this evening, he's all that. He ain't a cat in the hat, but ladies and gentlemen, I have no more rhymes. Let me introduce you to my co-host this evening, Coach Loudy.
It's the tower of power, too sweet to be sour. Sky's the limit and space is the place. Oh, yeah. Hogan, I'm coming for you. You did one thing that you promised you wouldn't do. You said Miss Elizabeth would be safe, and there she was in harm's way with your hot dog and grandstanding. Oh, yeah.
That is a nice throwback to the old Saturday night's main event days, man. God, does that bring back memories? That brawl backstage between Savage and Hogan after Miss Elizabeth got hurt and Hogan walked away from ringside. But we'll bide our time. We'll get into our wrestling. We'll get that in. Absolutely, man.
That's what she said.
I hope so. Continually giggity. So yeah, this is that's me echoing there as I'm checking the playback on my phone now. I see we've got 3 people in the chat. Let's get 3 bitch slaps to that like button for me right there. We just hit the 102 subscriber mark today. So I would like to thank everybody who has contributed to that, who's taken the time to watch. Even if you don't watch, just click a like and share the video. We're up to 6 people watching right now. Show yourselves in the chat. Let me know who's watching. It's probably some people working and lurking, or some maybe some of the folks that I ran afoul of earlier. But if you're watching, you're giving me views. So thank you very much. We got a big second half of the show. For those of you who didn't realize what we were doing this evening, we kind of split the format up so I could get a little more extra content out there for you guys. Admiral Tiberius, should I bring the hose? Absolutely. Dartico, yo, what's up? We got, see, I love it, man. Everybody's jumping in already. This is great, man. So I don't have anybody with a wrench in the chat tonight, but I will be monitoring that myself, because if I have any of my little friends pop in here who are some haters drinking some haterade from earlier, I'm going to lay the band hammer down tonight, because homie don't play that shit, not around here. So Flair X says whips and chains. Absolutely, man. Bring them all. This is the place to be, and whips and chains are welcome. Shit, come on in.
Whips, chains, ball gags, blindfolds, you name it, we'll do it.
That is right. That is right. God damn it. All right. So let's get right into it. We're going to start out by talking Joker. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do a screen share here, and we're going to pop the Joker trailer on. Let's see. Wait. All right. I'm going to call up Scarlett Johansson and Haley Atwell, says Admiral Tiberius. I am not going to argue with that. Jesus. Yeah. Haley Atwell and Scarlett Johansson. I think that's a heart attack.
Hey, just for my personal, kinks and fetishes, can we also get in Kat Dennings?
Oh, yes, we can. Yes, we can.
No, David Applegate. No cock and ball torture. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
No.
Sorry, I'm one of those people lurking in the live chat. I figured, I could help kind of keep track and do that as well.
And it's a good thing we're not monetized right now, because I think we just jumped the shark already.
Oh man, Fonzie be proud.
He would. And it's so funny too. If people don't realize that's where that saying came from, it came from Happy Days, folks. So
not to confuse with happy endings.
Yeah, no. You can never confuse a happy ending. Well, I mean, it depends on how inebriated you are, I guess. Let's see here. Let's go with Joker trailer. And yeah, we're gonna screen share this, and we're gonna talk about Joker. So I want to watch the final trailer one more again. Now this did come out 3 years ago. Now there's an extended version, but I think that actually might have been a link that I sent you. We can just use that. I'm fine with that.
Okay. You're the boss, man.
Yeah, I'm good with that. So we'll do that. We'll use the extended trailer here, and I will throw that down in the chat here in just a moment, as I've got that queued up here. Let me pop back over to StreamYard before I get the screen share. Let's see. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is the trailer we will be using. Flare X is skipping merrily through a field of wildflowers with a flamethrower. That sounds like a fun afternoon. Would it be like it's not the was that Little House on the Prairie field, is it? You burning Laura Ingalls Wilder?
No, sir. Some people just like to watch the world burn.
Nice Michael Caine callback.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see here. Go screen share. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and Alexandra Daddario. Man, you guys are killing me tonight.
Man. Just bring all the titties.
I'm telling you. All right, here we go. Let's maximize this. There we go.
She says I was put here to spread joy and laughter.
Now, this seriously, I think this movie is probably going to be one of the best iterations of the Joker.
Oh yeah. You know, I know I mentioned this probably a couple weeks ago on air, but I had shared something to the WCBS group, and it said, it was comparing like '90s Joker and the Joker movie coming out, and it said to create the Joker back in the day, you had to throw him in Nevada acid, and to create the Joker in 2019, you had to throw him into society. Which, quite frankly, throwing him into society, I think, really kind of explains a lot. I mean, especially with today's society and how it is, if you really look at it, I mean, and this is going to sound super fucking crazy, but I mean, I don't blame him with some of these things, man. Like,
no.
I mean, shit'll drive you fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm surprised I haven't gotten there.
I mean, see, the thing is that, they say that this movie is going to strike a chord with the disillusioned, disenfranchised white men. And I just feel like it's a character study, and it's a villain. It's a classic villain. So why wouldn't you want a character study on him? Yeah. If people are that, the people that do that kind of stuff are going to do that kind of stuff anyway. They're not going to be emboldened by a movie. And if they are, that's an excuse for a deeper underlying issue that is, it doesn't seem plausible to me. This guy has obviously been shit on his whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is going to be a powerful movie. I really, really believe that this is going to be probably one of Joaquin Phoenix's best roles.
Definitely. And for those of you who didn't catch us on Anchor earlier, Pete, should we tell them what movie's also debuting the same day as the Joker?
I'm going to say the name of it, and I'm not going to talk any more about the movie because the nature of the movie is something I really don't care to dive into too much here. It's called Cuck.
No joke, people. Cuck. It's an indie.
Cuck. Yeah. Just look it up yourself. That's all I can tell you guys out there in the chat.
So yeah, if you want to give yourselves cancer, look it up.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, next time you introduce me on the show, can you call me the Joker?
Yeah, I can do that, I guess. As long as you call me Penguin all show.
Hey, you know what? I can call you Betty, and Betty, if you call me, you can call me Al.
So yeah, this that is a absolutely kick-ass trailer for what is probably going to end up being one of the best movies of the year.
Yep.
Let's see. The place to be reviews is live. I'm rock hard right now. That is Goober Brothers Entertainment. What is up? Oh, Raiders of Lost Flicks in the house. I do have somebody with a wrench in the chat tonight.
Oh, wrench, right. Daddy.
All right. Ishmael. Raiders want to be called Ishmael. Are we watching Ishtar? Hey, Raiders, if anything is a miss in the chat tonight, I'm going to need you to just lay the band hammer down. Just as a precaution. I don't think we'll have any issues, but you never know. Like I said, I ran afoul of a couple SJWs earlier, so you never know what's going to happen. but I welcome that. Like I said, I think it was, I can't remember if it was this show or no, we were on the fan cast, and somebody tried trolling us, and I shut that shit down like Negan.
Oh,
He did not like me mocking him. Everything he commented, I just started basically mocking him in an SJW voice, and he just left. So, and really, the whole thing started because WCBS was doing a stream the same time that we were, and then the guy was like talking shit because he's like, nobody's gonna watch you, and I was like, yeah, nobody's gonna watch you. I'm here talking shit. I'm like, dude, really? Like, why?
it's like you're here right now watching, you dumb fuck.
I know it's not like it's not like we weren't like trying to compete with WCBS. I mean, we were just doing our normally scheduled stream, and they did it was a drunk it was like the Halloween 2 commentary, I believe they were doing that night. So, I mean, it's not like, we were trying to throw shade or anything. It was just that was our, Friday nights the fan cast. So let's see. So we watched Joker. Now, topic A, the Joker movie and its cultural significance according to the media. Now, I believe that the media is blowing this way out of proportion. They're treating it like it's going to be, some kind of revolutionary, absolutely horrible, influence, and just cause widespread, chaos and rioting. And I just, like I said, I see a character study in Arthur Fleck, the Joker, being portrayed by a brilliant character actor in Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes.
I mean, so do you think the movie is going to have the effect that I'll just use my air quotes and say the sensitive side believes it will have?
I personally don't. And if it does, then they're going to act like this is the first time anything like this has happened. And we're going to need to, watch we're going to need to, regulate something or some other bullshit like that. When, needless to say, all we need to do is go back. God, what was it? 2013, 2014. When that, one dude shot up the theater, and he was inspired by I don't know if he was inspired by the Joker or something like that, but he had that odd colored hair, and it was out in Denver. That much I remember, and I forget what movie it was for, and you guys in the chat can let us know. But I just I'll be honest, I forgot where I was going with this, but. Long story short, I don't think it's going to have the effect that all the SAWFT soft people think it's going to have. So
that's, and I'm along that same lines. Like I said, because I'm not somebody who looks at a movie and says, oh, this is probably going to cause riots. And no, I look at a movie and I'm like, okay, first of all, is this something that I'm going to watch realistically? And if the answer is no, then I just, leave it. I just leave it alone. That was at a Flare X. That was at a screening of The Dark Knight that shooting happened.
Was it Dark Knight, or was it Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises?
No, it was Dark Knight. I believe it was one with Heath Ledger, the Joker one. That was the second one, because the Dark Knight Rises was with Bane.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say it was at that one, but I can't quite recall. Like I said, it's just, yeah. Oh, yes, it was. Okay, so it was at Dark Knight. All right. So that was the one with the Joker that Heath Ledger played the Joker in.
Right.
Yeah, and they tried to blame that on the movie, and it really wasn't. I mean, the guy really didn't look like that at all. I mean, it was media spin, and trying to blame a movie for let's see. Wait, Goober Brothers says, I'm running to the store. Y'all want anything? You know me, man. I just want some iced tea and Skittles. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted was iced tea and Skittles, and look what happened to me. Oh, Dark Knight Rises. Okay, all right. So what's the last one then? All right. Okay, so somebody was crazy then. Yep, they just these people are going to be, if you're that simple-minded to be influenced by a movie, then may God have mercy on your soul. The only thing movies have ever influenced me to do is watch more movies, or you know what I mean. I might look into the background of a movie and see what kind of influence it had in production, or the writers. What else have they written? Is there a central narrative that their career follows? But a movie has never pushed me or even gave me the inclination to commit an act of violence. After watching Over the Top, I did want to arm wrestle all the time, though. but maybe that's just me. Coach, did you and have you been following all the hype leading up to this? Did I lose Loudy? Am I solo right now?
Sorry about that. No, I messaged in the private chat there.
Okay.
But no, I'll be honest. I don't think I've been following too terribly much though.
Okay. Yeah, because this, like I said, actually we're gonna get to a little more of this later. Um, because this movie, like I said, they're pushing this narrative on this movie. And I mean, you look at the rotten was it the Rotten Tomatoes score of this, and I mean the critics are just lambasting this movie, kind of like what they're doing to Rambo right now. Uh but that's the beautiful thing of Rotten Tomatoes is never to look at the critic score unless you want a good laugh. um because the critic scores they're shills. Those scores are bought and paid for, and we all know which direction the narrative that they go on follow. Now look, this one actually right now, Joker, I'm gonna pull this up on Rotten Tomatoes. Obviously there's no audience score, but it's at a 76% right now. So the critic score I believe has went up because I think it was far lower than that. When they first started to when they first ranked it. Coincidentally though, Ad Astra, that movie with Brad Pitt, it's 83% certified fresh, right? 45% audience score, which is pretty much what I expected with that one. Um, let's see, 10 watchers bitch slap that like button. Thank you very much, Adam. Let's see, odd when the movie premiered at Venice, the critics love the film. How quickly the wind changes. Yeah, David, they really turned their back on this. Um, I mean, like I said, they're treating this like it's some kind of insane, you know, uh, political statement of a movie, and it's a DC movie. Do they not realize that? Hang on, I'm going to acknowledge the second half of my Australian contingency in the chat. Chris Wicks is here. Hail, Chris Wicks. Hola, brother. It was good talking to you today. Congratulations made on hitting the century mark. Doing a quickie today, unfortunately. Yeah, I got to. I'm glad you stopped in, man. I know that it's late there, so absolutely, brother. Thank you for stopping in. Um, yeah, we've got to get this straightened out with these people. I mean, you can't really straighten them out. I mean, it's just getting people to see things. Things that make you uncomfortable don't need to be shut down and forced into the background, man. Um, you can have great entertainment that causes conversation, but not necessarily conflict. They say Eric Bischoff, big, huge professional wrestling personality, promoter, used to run WCW. He says, controversy creates cash. He wrote a book on it, and it does. So I think Joker's gonna blow the roof off. This is gonna be a great movie that a lot of people are gonna like. And if somebody gives you shit for liking a movie like that, I mean, come on, man. They said the same thing about Heath Ledger. Um, that his portrayal of the Joker, because the Joker's an anarchist, and that's something that obviously some people are terrified of. The world there's enough things to be afraid of in the world. A movie doesn't scare me. It just doesn't. It's never going to. I'm never going to be like, oh my god, there's this big scary movie. uh so it's ridiculous. Joaquin Phoenix. Now, talking point number two: was Joaquin Phoenix justified in walking out on an interview? I'm going to jump over to Bounding into Comics here, and we'll check that out while we wait for the coach to come back, as I'm sure he's probably wrapped up doing something. Let's see here. Throw this up before I do my screen share. Let's see. So, I mean, let me know in the chat. Are any of you guys going to see Joker opening night? I don't know if I'll be able to go opening night, but I do anticipate going to the theater to see this one. It all depends on me getting somebody to watch my little one. That's always the difficult part of it. Let's see. He walked out to make a call to Warner Legal. Yes, he was. Oh, okay. Yeah. Came back later to finish the interview. That's he shouldn't have to walk out during an interview. He just really shouldn't. God, that bothers me. So I don't think that I don't think we're going to I don't think we're going to have too many issues with this movie though. But let's pop this screen share up right here, and we'll go on over to Bounding into Comics. And let me shut down some of these ads right here, which are always fun. Joaquin Phoenix walked out of Joker interview after question about film's violence. This article is from today. Mr. John F. Trent, Bounding into Comics. Joker actor Joaquin Phoenix reportedly walked out of an interview promoting the film when he was asked about the film's violence and its influence on the real world. During an interview with Robbie Collin of The Telegraph, Phoenix reportedly walked out when Collin asked him if he was worried that this film might perversely end up inspiring exactly the kind of people it's about with potentially tragic results. Phoenix reportedly responded saying, "Why? Why would you? No, no." However, Collin does not mention this in his article with The Telegraph. He simply writes, his fight or flight response kicks in. He did add that Phoenix glared at him. I can assure you, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that thin eye glare in real life. Collin reports Phoenix would return an hour later after a Warner Brothers PR rep intervened. He adds Phoenix panicked. He later explains because the question genuinely hadn't crossed his mind before. Then asked me, not for the last time, what an intelligent answer might have sounded like. Phoenix would also describe the Joker's character in the film as posing questions with no easy answers. He would go on to detail what drew him to playing Joker. Typically, the motivations of characters in most movies, certainly the superhero genre, are very clear, and that wasn't the case in this, and to me, that was a challenge. There was something there to explore that I didn't fully understand. The Joker film has been lampooned by a number of woke individuals, including former Marvel Comics editor Heather Antos. Oh yeah, she's Heather Antos. If you have ever looked into her Twitter, she is absolutely a horrible person, and she's just one of the self-hating folks. We'll call her, who claimed the film is. Oh, here's if you're playing SJW bingo at home, here is a buzzword: problematic. She would go on to falsely claim that Aurora, Colorado shooter dressed up as the Joker is an insinuation the upcoming Joker film could inspire violence, and that's bullshit. She's a Valiant Comics editor. Yeah, that's formerly worked at Marvel. Formerly. Yeah, Heather Antos has no place around any human beings. Let's see. Following these criticisms of the film, the woke Rotten Tomatoes critics decided to review bomb the movie, dropping its critic score to a whopping 11 points from 86 to 75. Leah Greenblatt at Entertainment Weekly described the film, a movie with a message this one hammers home again and again. Feels too volatile and frankly too scary to separate from the very real violence committed by young men like Joaquin Phoenix's Arthur Fleck in America almost every day. Okay, I have so many issues with these. This is just irresponsible clickbait, virtue signaling journalism at its finest, and these people should be ashamed of themselves. Let's see. And I'm going to stop here and I'm going to acknowledge live chat on my phone. Let's see. Admiral Tiberius Pete, I've worked in prisons for 9 years now. Violent people will do whatever they want, and the media will find ways to blame everything but the individual. Thank you very much. Admiral Tiberius, because I actually have a degree in criminal justice and a focus in corrections. While I've never worked in a prison or a jail by choice, because I got into private security right out of college, I don't disagree with you at all. Violent people are violent people. That's a mindset. That is absolutely a mental mindset, and you cannot, something might trigger them to go on these sprees. There's always a linchpin, but the media just spins things now because you can't actually blame the perpetrator unless they fit a narrative. If they don't fit a narrative, then you're obviously going to spin the story to try to benefit your side. So they just they don't have a clue what they're really talking about when they try to do this bullshit. And it's just ridiculous. I can't even fathom the level of just I don't want to call it like narcissism that would go into that style of journalism, maybe dishonesty and narcissism it takes to even try to push that, that narrative. Um, I can't understand that rationalization or that thought process. But I mean, it's like there's everybody in every basically every group across the board commits crimes. Um, it's everywhere. A lot of it depends on, without getting, I don't want to get into this. I'm trying to talk about a movie, and I'm on a socioeconomic discussion about, the crime relative to, demographic, and I'm just not going to go down that road right now. No, no. Let's see. Phoenix previously discussed the violent scene in Joker with SFX comparing it to an Avengers film. I don't know how many people die in Avengers, but there's a lot. He makes he makes it clear the violence in Joker is very different from that in an Avengers movie. The violence in this is immediate and on screen and a little more visceral and raw. And to me, I don't see that as an issue. It's a movie. You know what you're getting into going to watch. Any comic book superhero movie. There's going to be violence. It's obviously going to be either science fiction, something more like this is a little more, reality based, obviously, where like your Avengers, is more, fantasy sci-fi kind of thing. But no, the Joker, I mean, he doesn't have superpowers. He's just a guy. He didn't fall into a vat of, toxic wasteness, which I just watched Batman the other day with my son for the first time. And I was absolutely enthralled with his reaction and response to the entire movie. He loved it. So that really made my heart happy that he was, because I went to see that when I was 9 years old in the theater, and I will love that movie until the day I die. I mean, on the wall in my office, I have it's the start of a collage I have left of some old the Batman trading cards. From the original, I don't have that many left. I did send some in the PO box to a certain big YouTube channel who is run by a great guy, World Class Bullshitters. I know you guys are all subscribed to him, so yeah, I sent some of those to him. There was some cool concept Batman art, pictures and Joker art in there, so I sent those. But so I made a collage of the rest of them, but I'm not finished with it yet because it's just on a white background, and I'm going to get some of the black. I'm gonna get wrapping paper, and I used that in a Star Wars collage I did some with the black and yellow with the bat symbol, and lay it behind the cards, which I did not glue in because I was afraid I didn't want to do that to ruin them. So they're gently placed in the um in the case, the frame. So yeah, let's see, movies, guys, not politics. Yeah, let's keep the political chat. Like I said, man, I was trying to shoestring, everything together and related to this movie. But if anybody, y'all know me, your subscribers, you know that I'm not I'm not a politics channel at all here. We do talk identity politics because it bleeds into our entertainment, but that's about where I would like to leave it because as many of these groups are, we are all from different backgrounds. So and we all have a general, you know, uh, we're all a community here, and I like to have open discourse. But it is what it is. So, but let's see. Phoenix continues. But yeah, I didn't have any hesitation about it. You always want to feel real, and you want the little violence that we have an impact. What happens in a lot of movies is you get numb to it. You're killing 40,000 people. You don't feel it. While being a fictional story in a fictional world, you always want to feel real. Everything that happens in this movie, as far as violence goes, you feel it. Director Todd Phillips addressed the violence in the film. He told Digital Spy, and Digital Spy is such a bad website. I mean, get it. Give me something. I mean, aren't they just about as bad as like Gossip Cop or like fucking Inverse or Polygon? Now, I do a lot of stories from WeGotThisCovered.com, and we all joke around about them and call them garbage here. But damn it, man, WeGotThisCovered.com has some crazy luck when it comes to popping off their stories. And getting a few of them right here and there. So I mean, I gotta tip the metaphorical hat to him there. Let's see. I think one of the biggest jobs of a director is you're the purveyor of tone. This movie is always was always written to meant to be a slow burn, and I think the violence is part of the slow burn. He continues, I think we're very careful with it. A lot of people assume or think it's going to be a really violent movie, but if you break it down to the amount of people that he has an issue with, I think the reason it affects you differently is because we tried to paint it with as realistic a brush as possible. Phillips concludes with a comparison to John Wick 3. I mean, you could watch a movie like John Wick 3 and there's a much higher amount of violence, but when it comes in Joker, it feels like a punch in the stomach. It is all just a balancing act of tone. Let's see, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers has his thought. I'm not gonna play the Jeremy Geeks and Gamers video right now. I don't even think I've watched that one, honestly. And that's no shade over there. I don't really. There's so many videos coming out of Geeks and Gamers, and there's so many guys that I try to keep up with here on YouTube. It's I try to get them all, but yeah, man, Geeks and Gamers, that's a huge channel, and they put out a lot of content. So that's something we all aspire to, I think, as YouTubers. So I'm just kind of messaging somebody here, so to bear with me for just a minute. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Are you going to see Joker? Do you think there's any merit to any of this? I mean, really, do you think this movie is that powerful, or is it just the subject matter and the fact that it's 2019? Because that's what I really think it is. And we've really got to take a step back and realize that this is entertainment, okay? Entertainment is meant to evoke things. It's meant to be, you want your entertainment to make you think. You don't want your entertainment to, just lay everything out. So it's like a paint by numbers, and that's my issue. And Adam and I were discussing this the other night, the Groovinator. If you're not already subscribed to Raiders of Lost Flicks, you should. But yeah, please go over and subscribe to him. But Admiral Tiberius, thank God for Place to Be reviews because Monday Night Football sucks. Yeah, I haven't watched Monday Night Football in a long time, man. Like I said, this is more important to me than football. I watched my Lions yesterday. We won. We're 2-0-1 now. We beat the Eagles. So I was happy about that. Let's see, let's see who else we got. David Applegate is going to see it, ignoring the oversensitive fools, and absolutely, man, that is the best thing that we can do is just go watch the movie. And I'm not trying to take a stance on it from a political aspect, but I'm just saying just because it looks like a kick-ass movie, and Joaquin Phoenix has really done well in his career as a character actor. I mean, everybody's going to have your little hits and misses, but Walk the Line was great. The Johnny Cash movie. He was good in Signs, even though that movie was kind of wonky. He was good in that. So there's I like Joaquin Phoenix, so I don't have any issue with that. Was Russell Crowe, Gladiator? I mean, he plays a perfect villain, so he's a character actor. Let's see, Chris Wicks. It's a state of the times. Yes, it is, Chris. Absolutely. Flare X might go see it. Not a huge theater goer. And my issue, Flare X, with theaters is I'm kind of a germaphobe. And theaters are they're fucking gross, man. I mean, they are just gross. Except though there's a theater like right by my house. Actually, I wanted to go see the movie that's playing there right now. It's Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. As a kid, I read those books, and I still got a couple of them. I don't read those to my kid yet because for as much stuff as he watches that's a little bit above his age range, those stories are a little scary yet. Was it time? Let's see, David Applegate. Was the time people said the 1800s we dress for dinner? SJW culture is a new iteration of pearl clutching. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's see, for a movie night at the local theater, $15.65 for a popular flick. Admiral Tiberius, I went to see Downton Abbey with my mom as a favor to her. I've never seen 1 second of Downton Abbey. I'm aware of its existence. I'm aware there's a movie, but I couldn't tell you the first thing about the show other than I believe it. It's set in Britain, London. Is it London? I don't know. It's set across the pond. Let's just say that. Call me a typical American right now because I don't know where the hell the movie's set. But yeah. Let's see. This is David. Our local theater is very clean, but the big ones in the city, they dirty. Oh yeah. I went to a city called Saginaw, Michigan. Those if you're familiar, if you've ever been to Michigan, it's Saginaw is I basically that's where I started my professional wrestling career, was in Saginaw, and I have nothing but love for that city. But there's areas of that are hood. I mean, it is. It's by Flint. I know everybody knows what Flint, Michigan is because the water deal. Saginaw is part of the Tri Cities. It's Bay City, or it's Midland, or Bay City, Saginaw, and Flint are the Tri Cities. And Saginaw has great areas and great people, but it's also got hood areas, which it is what it is, man. But I've worked wrestling shows in areas where I would not walk to my car alone, and I'm a 230-pound man. So it was it is what it is. Let's see, Admiral Tiberius. Pete is actually really good. Color me shocked, but it's refreshingly good. Hey, no, I'm not. I'm not going to knock it, man. Raiders says my parents love that show. Downton Abbey. Okay, yeah. See, the small town theaters, they have to try hard to get customers while the big ones pack people in, says David. Yeah. See, that's the thing about like the theater in my town. It's old. It opened in I want to say like the 40s. I mean, it's old. It's basically a historical landmark. It's a gorgeous theater. And I'm surprised people haven't like complained because it's 2019 and they have like a ton of stuffed, taxidermied animals in there. But it is such a kick-ass theater. And it's funny because up until 2008, when the smoking ban started, you could actually smoke cigarettes in the lobby. I only did once. I think I was like 22 years old. And, it was one of those when you're 22 and you have a complete disregard for other people's well-being and you're in a small enclosed space, like smoking in restaurants back in the day. But yeah, it's not really too expensive either. It's only like, God, I think my wife and I went to see Endgame. That was the second time I went to see it. So I took her to see it there. And it was only like, I think $14 for 2 tickets, which is cheap. I hear some rumbling in the background. So I hear Loudy's back. Flair X, we are a resort town, so that makes the difference. Yeah, I live in a very small resort town too, Flair X. I'll fill you in on that off air. We can, because we're friends on Facebook. You can message me anytime. But yeah, I do. My town is very small. It's literally about 8,000 people. So it's a tourist town, man. There's a ton of like hotels, and there at one point around the lake that I live right by, there was 35 bars, and that is no joke, which is a lot.
35 bars.
35 bars, dude. And people used to do like pub crawls and try to hit all of those. There's a lot of a lot of alcohol poisoning going on.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was all done in the name of fun.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. So you're back. We talked while you're gone. We talked about is everything okay, man? You good?
Everything's good. Right. I'll just come clean to everyone on air. For those of you who do or do not know, I'm engaged, and I'm also. So we met in college. Did long distance. Okay, so we went to the same college. I'll give you all the abridged version. Did the long distance thing. Moved in together. Got engaged. And then I'm getting ready to move up to where she's from. She's already moved there because she had a guaranteed job with the place where she went. And it's just one of those tough nights where Coach Loudy's got to be the fiance for a second and do damage control. But everything is all good. Nothing to worry about here. I just had to do my future husbandly duties and make sure that my other half was okay. But other than that, because I'm the king of multitasking, I did my best to tune in with you guys. Unfortunately, I did not do that well. However, I do have some sad news in the era of entertainment here. Mike Mendel, producer for both Rick and Morty and The Simpsons, has passed away at the age of 54.
Oh, and that's sad news. And we got hit with the death of Sid. Was it Sid Haig?
The from the Rob Zombie movies.
Yeah, and he's actually, he's in 3 from Hell, which comes out, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go see that one. I hate Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, but I like Devil's Rejects. I loved House of a Thousand Corpses, and 3 from Hell looks good too. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go see that one. But that's all. It's always sad news to lose these. You lose these creators, and oh god, yeah, we got Nog from Star Trek: The Next Generation. The actor that played him passed away too. Loudy.
Oh wow. I mean, everybody, man, and it's so funny because not funny. Let me rephrase this, and I only say it's funny because each year, it seems like we'll lose 1 or 2 really big names, and then we'll blame the year for taking them. Like, oh man, 2019 was real tough because blah blah blah, or 2018 we lost this that. I mean, it's like, man, they're coming for everyone. It's just like, it really makes you sit back and think like, wow, Father Time, he's undefeated and he's going to come and get my ass one of these days. So, it really makes you think.
That's the only fight you can ever win is the fight against time.
Yep.
That's the only fight you can't win. But on to more pleasant topics that aren't about death. God, if there's one thing, I feel like George Costanza. If there's one thing that terrifies me, it's death.
Oh yeah,
that and being trapped. Well, actually, you know what? Like, particularly, like, my two biggest fears being trapped underwater and claustrophobia. You combine those two, and that's fucking terrible. Raiders of the Lost Flick says, moving on. Rage Against the Dying of the Light Gentleman. Let's see. Okay, so. Before we switch topics, back to the Joker. Where will this Joker land on the list of Jokers after the dust settles? In my opinion, your opinion, and I mean the character, not necessarily, the film, based on the actor's portrayal. Just from my perspective, and just kind of going off of what Joaquin Phoenix has done in his body of work, I really think this has the potential to kind of be up there in the upper echelons with, Heath. Well, I'll say Jack Nicholson first, because no matter how much of a difference there was in styles, Jack Nicholson. I'm not slighting Heath Ledger at all. This is straight personal preference. This is my outlook on it is I love Jack Nicholson in the role. Was it cartoonish? Absolutely. Was it meant to be? Yes, it was. Heath Ledger, had a different gritty take, and that went along with the Nolan, imprint on the film. I mean, his whole trilogy. So it was both of them that were great in their own right. Even was it Cesar Romero?
Yeah.
Cesar Romero's Joker from the TV show. You can't not include him on a list. Mark Hamill, his voice acting as the Joker is kind of the stuff that, that you want out of, especially a voice actor, because he nails it in the cartoon and the video games.
Oh yeah.
And there's one Joker on this list that is such a steaming, disgusting, unworthy pile of shit. And it was Jared Leto's Joker in Suicide Squad, which admittedly I had to go and watch the clips of him from the movie, because I literally watched 45 minutes of that movie and I was like, fuck this, I'm done. And I just turned it off. I'm like, I'm not watching this.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, as someone who went and saw it in theaters, when I was part of WCBS back in the day, we would go and we'd see movies on Thursdays. We would that was one of the movies we saw. We saw Batman v Superman, and we saw a fair chunk of the DCEU movies. And just, as some of you may or may not know, I am a big Joker fan. Actually, I'll have to find the picture, Pete, and I'll send it to you off air. But one year and this was pretty recent, I dressed up as Heath Ledger's Joker for Halloween, and my fiance dressed up as Harley Quinn. So I'll have to find those pictures, see if I can send them to you. But yeah, I just, that's how big of a Joker fan I am. I even, as much as I love my beard, I even shaved my face so I could put on the white makeup and everything. I didn't grow my hair out in diet green. I did cheat and have a green wig, but that's how invested I was. And to go and see Suicide Squad and look at what pathetic excuse of a Joker I had to watch for almost 2 hours on the silver screen was just embarrassing. It's like literally anybody could imitate that, maybe not to a T, but I can talk like this and tell you things that I'm gonna do, and boom, I just gave you 10 seconds of Jared Leto's Joker. That's how unimpressive it is, because anyone can do it. Sure, people can do their best to imitate Cesar Romero's Joker, or Jack Nicholson's Joker, or Heath Ledger's Joker, but it's never going to be as iconic as on point as what those guys did. and the fact that it feels like Jared Leto's Joker was literally like Great Value brand Joker. It's like they gave you. It's like they did everything they could to give you the I guess the feeling, but the feeling was then killed by the fact that you looked at this appearance and he didn't look like Joker, he looked like fuckboy Joker. Like he looked like frat boy, Four Loko, white claw drinking, fucking let's do coke off of people's dicks Joker. And that was depressing.
Oh yeah, and the thing that got me too was like, I mean, it's cool like you and your girl did like the Joker and Harley Quinn thing, but the amount of women that were like losing their shit and like, I want a relationship like Joker and Harley Quinn. I'm like, you understand he beats the living shit out of her, right?
It's like he's both physically and emotionally abusive, right?
Yeah.
It's like, so you want someone to beat the shit out of you? Let's just go down to the local county jail. I'm sure we can find at least 3 people that, at least 5 people that can be your Joker.
Fucking just go down to Florida. You can find Florida man.
Florida man.
Oh wait, here's
whatever Florida can.
Man, here's a good comment from Goober Brothers. There ain't no laws when you're drinking the claws.
You son of a bitch! You listen. Beastie Boys did not fight for our right to party so that y'all could drink White Claw. All right, stop that bullshit.
Oh shit! Wait, let's see. Chris Wicks has got to go. All right, brother. Hey man, it's late where you are. Get your sleep, my man, and yeah. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you, Chris, for stopping in, brother.
Yeah, thanks for reviewing stuff with us, man. Take care.
Goober Brothers, this is another one from him, man. He's on Cody. You're on fire tonight, dude. I want a relationship like Scarlet Witch and her bra. Well, the only thing that got in between that relationship was me. So all I'm saying is, Elizabeth Olsen, holler at your boy. Seriously, I'm just a broke YouTuber, but just holler at me anyway. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
For real.
I'm trying to figure out who said it on here, but someone had a really good one. It was Insane Clown Posse Joker. I think that was Raiders.
Right, that's Raiders right here. Yeah, I was making my way back up to that one. Wait, nope, that's Chris's comment. Wrong one. Okay. Here it is right here. Insane Clown Posse Joker. That's what Jared Leto looked like.
No, you know what? That's disrespectful to the Insane Clown Posse. Because I like the Insane Clown Posse. Who's going chicken hunting? We's going chicken hunting.
Cut them up now. Actually, my wife is related to Shaggy 2 Dope, and that's no shit.
Wait, what?
She's a shoestring cousin to Shaggy 2 Dope.
God damn that. Pete, I'm learning new things about you every day, man. That just makes me happy.
I've never met him. I've never had the opportunity to meet him. Like I said, I know Rude Boy from the ICP clique. He's a juggalo. Rude Boy, if y'all aren't familiar with ICP, Rude Boy is like in their clique, and he's a wrestler too. So I use that term with him very loosely, as he's more like just get in the ring and blade the shit out of himself and bleed everywhere. But that's
Ric Flair circa 1983.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, man, I worked shows for Rudy that he promoted, and I did meet Shaggy's younger brother, who is actually a very talented rapper, and I'll share some of his stuff with you, Eric.
Okay.
He's kind of in that same vein, but not completely as ICP. So I mean, he's got a really good sound to him, though, man. Right. I was digging his single release he had. So that'll about do it for Joker talk. Now we've got to switch. We got to switch sides here to the Brie Larson controversy and rumors regarding Cat Pan Meh and how it relates to Spider-Man leaving for Sony. Now, my first talking point here is, could this entire controversy have been avoided? The short answer is yes. Okay. Now, how could this entire thing have been avoided? Well, when they started casting for Captain Marvel, they should have looked to an actress who could play an action role, be relatable to fans, likable to fans, entertaining, talented, have a good personality, and play the interviews really well, get along with your cast members. They decided to go a different route and cast Brie Larson. Yuck.
Mm.
And and so here we are today with, and this is another I gotta put this up there, man. Here's Raiders, Larson. And this I want to do that so bad right now, but I have to be somewhat quiet because my kid's in the next room sleeping.
I live in an apartment complex, but I just don't give a shit.
I don't want to wake him up because he's going to stay home from school again tomorrow, and I just want him to sleep in. So
I get that.
Like I said, man, no, those of you, if you joined us late, there won't be a morning show tomorrow. I will. I have a sick kid, so the morning show is going to be Thursday this week. So you're only going to get one about last night, but that's all right. I will, trust me. I might make it like a 2-hour show and really make it count for you guys to kind of make up for missing tomorrow, which I normally do it on Tuesdays because I like to get it early in the week. But then again, like I did one Tuesday and Thursday last week, that was just kind of a bonus for the for the subscribers and people that watch the channel. So anyway, Larson. Okay, could this problem have been avoided? Absolutely. You just basically you don't let your actors and actresses, I want to use the right pronouns here, ha ha ha, go out and but my pronouns go out and insult your paying customer base. Catherine Winnick is Captain Marvel. Who's Catherine Winnick? I'm gonna have to look her up. Let's see. Never before has a woman needed to be gagged. Well, I mean, maybe not. Well, I can think of a few. Amy Schumer. But I mean, you just give her a ham hock and she'll shut up. Let's see here. Catherine Winnick. I'm going to look her up real quick. So what do you think, Loudy? I mean, what should they have done to kind of, I don't know, rein her in, just avoid this whole, oh my God.
Well, the first thing they could have done was not cast her as Cat Pan Mediocre. That I feel like that would have been, the logical thing to do, not pick somebody who's going to shit all over your fan base and whatnot. See, the problem is that when they picked Brie Larson to be, I'm just going to say it because I'm going to keep fumbling over words if I don't. When they picked her to be Captain Marvel, they opened up this can of worms, and this can of worms said, if you are any form of heterosexual or a straight white male, you are a horrible person, and you should probably just do us all a favor and jump off of a cliff. Well, quite frankly, I'd rather not. That sounds really painful. But in reality, like I said, it's just one of those things. It's like it's such a turnoff. It's like I go watch movies and play video games to avoid this type of bullshit. And it's like now you just want to shove it down my throat to the point where it's like, do I even want to waste money going out anymore? Because all you're going to do is shove an agenda in my face.
Yep. That and that's it, man. That's a nail in the head right there. I need to go back and acknowledge Admiral Tiberius. Catherine Winnick is Captain Marvel. Yeah, I just looked up Catherine Winnick and oh my God. Yeah. So to get back to your point, Loudy, yeah, absolutely, man. It's like you're afraid of going out and spending the money on a movie because everybody works hard for their money, and it's like you choose to give your 15, 20, 30, 40 bucks, whatever you spend at a night at the theater, to these multi-million-dollar movie studios and these millionaire actors. Right. And you go there, and like you said, it's escapism. You want to go and you want to enjoy yourself. You want to kind of unplug from the Matrix and be able to sit back and for an hour and a half or 2 hours get lost in this escapist realm. This that you're gonna take this in and you're gonna just enjoy it. But when you get punched in the face with this preachy nonsense that you didn't sign up for, then it's like, why did I do this? Why?
Yeah.
Why did I waste my money when there's so many other things I could have spent it on?
Like bills.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. The Elite is in the house. Thank you for joining us this evening. Winnick is great in Vikings. I'm going to have to check this out.
Are you from Being the Elite? Because if you were from Being the Elite, we would have some famous people on our podcast. or at least in the chat.
That would be nice. Let's see. David Applegate says these multi-million-dollar actors who lecture you on income inequality. Yeah, that's it right there too. I don't need to hear that from somebody in Hollywood. They're living in a $20 million house. Yeah, I don't need to hear that from those people. Let's see. So, talking point number 2. Was Marvel really planning on making Spidey? And I use this because we both have a wrestling background. A quote jobber for Cat Pan mediocre, and from everything that I covered in my articles earlier, and this is from basically it all goes back to the Doomcock rumors, and his source that said they were going to use Spider-Man to humanize Cat Pan mediocre, and he was going to end up being the butt of the jokes. And it's just, are you really going to take? Okay, so she was set up and supposed to be the most powerful, character in the MCU. All right, and now you're like, oh shit, you're scrambling because you don't have $2 billion movies to shoehorn this garbage in between. You can't. You don't have Infinity War and Endgame, two of the biggest movies, not only in the MCU but of all time, to put this in between to guarantee that you're going to get a return on investment at the box office. That's the only reason that the damn movie made $1 billion. It wasn't because it was such a great movie. Because if you watch that movie, and I know you didn't, Loudy, like I said, I suffered through it. Anna Fleck and Ryan Bowden that wrote that have no idea what they were doing. They have no idea what they were doing.
I can tell.
I mean, it was pathetic, and it retconned and ruined how the Avengers got their name, the Avenger Initiative, how Nick Fury lost his eye. I mean, and people are like, well, this is the funny thing, okay? So I've been called a sexist for saying that She-Hulk should be like athletic and all this, and then the one of the creators or the writers from that was going to work on the Disney Plus show said they should change her origin story to better suit the fact that she doesn't need her cousin to be a superhero. Well, it's like the only reason that she's a superhero is because of a blood transfer. So, okay, well, how did Captain Cat Lady become a superhero? From a Kree blood transfusion. Okay, so what you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say that this is why she's a superhero, but she shouldn't be a superhero because that came from a man. So, yep. And let's see, David.
It's almost like the Batwoman stuff all over again. It's just, it's like you're using all of your cousin's stuff. Like you're using all of Bruce's stuff. How are you gonna? It just makes no sense.
I don't want a man taking credit for a woman's work, but I'm going to use every single goddamn piece of tech he has: his house, his car, his Lucius Fox's son. Lucian that works for him now, or works for Ruby Rose now. So it's cringy. Let's go back and check some comments here. Let's see. Raiders says, like y'all said, they could have literally picked any actress. Yeah, anybody would have been better than Brie Larson at this role. I mean, they could have brought Jennifer Garner back and had her play it. And I guarantee you she would have done a better job as Captain Marvel than she did at Elektra in 2005. And that's the thing that pisses me off. Elektra is a Marvel movie. No matter how much they want to try to say it's not, that's a Marvel movie. So Brie Larson, it may have made air quotes again, $1 billion, but she didn't break no glass fucking ceilings by being the first superhero, a female superhero or lead in an action movie. So, let's see, David Applegate rumors I covered. It was going to be written by J.J. Abrams' son. And Mary Jane is his wife to die. Peter becomes a loser. His son Ben takes over.
You know who I think would have made a great Captain Marvel? I don't know her name. So I don't know her name, but the woman who played Brienne of Tarth in Game of Thrones.
Oh, Gwendolyn Christie that played Captain Phasma.
Yeah, she would have been a great. I think she would have been a great Captain Marvel.
She's a big bitch. I think she'd be better as like She-Hulk, honestly. No, really, man. Like she's big. Like she's Katie Sackhoff. Raiders. That's my pick right there. Is the sci-fi goddess herself, Katie Sackhoff. Because she's like if y'all have ever watched Longmire or anything else Katie Sackhoff has done, she's a really good actress, and I think she would have I think she would have been magnificent as Captain Marvel, and we wouldn't have had all this bullshit. Flair X says the best thing to happen to Cat Pan Meh would be Rogue putting her back in a coma. Okay, Battlestar Galactica. That's what Katie Sackhoff was. And see, I never watched that show, Flair X. She would have to fit in. She would have fit in with that cast perfectly. Yeah, she Sackhoff would have gotten along with her castmates, man. And that's the thing is like I don't think anybody would have had any complaints about her if it was a different actress.
Yep.
I mean, and this just brings back to the point where we don't hate women. We're not incels. We're not neck-bearded man babies. It's simply the fact that you let your employee come out and just castigate and ostracize your fan base, and well, we don't want your money. We want their money. Well, they don't spend money. We do. That's the thing.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Even the chick who played in 7 of 9 in Voyager, is that Raider says infels with a Mike Tyson accent. David Applegate, are you talking about Jerry Ryan? Is that who it was? It was in Star Trek Voyager? Because I think Jerry Ryan was in one of those shows, but I'm not sure if it was that iteration. You'll like what I tagged you in the group, Pete. I'll check it out when we're off the air, brother. Absolutely. That's like the thing is like I get off here and I have to make a thumbnail for the video. I still have to go back and upload the podcast, reorganize it, and make the thumbnail for that. So I'm going to be a busy boy tonight, but that's all right. Miho's going to stay home tomorrow with me, and we'll do a movie and Lego day tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So
I'll be up, man. That sounds like fun.
Come on up, man. I got you can sleep in my office on the casting couch.
Oh, sweet. Have you used lately?
No, it has not. The only spot that this couch ever gets sat in is where my big fat ass is sitting right now. That's it. This goddamn, I'm surprised this thing just hasn't like collapsed on this end yet. But let's see. Okay, so talking point number 3. Well, I mean, should we go back to this? Let's go back to the Spider-Man. I don't want to move on yet. I want to go back to the Spider-Man.
I really don't think we've really delved into Spider-Man being a jobber. And quite frankly, with what you described to us earlier when we were going over it, that's complete and utter bullshit. So you're telling me you're going to use Spider-Man's own movie to put over another superhero one, which is fine in a sense because that's how you introduce. Oh my God, that's how you do good storytelling, introduce new characters and get people interested. But the problem is that you're using it to put over not only a character, but an actress who has done nothing but shit on the fan base to the point where it's like, great, you're trying to get this new demographic, but you don't have to put down one to get the other. You really don't. And that's what Marvel and that's what Disney and all them are doing, trying to push Captain Marvel. They're trying to fucking strap the rocket to her and put her to the moon. And quite frankly, it's not going to work. And the people that do like her are the ones that aren't spending the money. They're the ones that the money's getting spent for them. And it's I don't know, man. I just don't think. I think that would have been a shitty thing to do to not only Spider-Man but to Tom Holland as well. Though Tom Holland's a little bit iffy for me nowadays anyway, but we'll that's a different topic for a different night.
Yeah, see, this is my thing, man. Like you said, you can't. And Spider-Man is the most recognizable character, arguably, in the world.
Yeah,
the world's probably most prevalent superhero. So. And yeah, they are really reaching for that non-existent fan base that doesn't spend any money, that just sits on Twitter all day. Yep. That's what they're going for. And you don't treat a rich lineaged character like Spider-Man in that respect. It's ultimately it doesn't look good for you as a filmmaker. It doesn't look good for you as a for your movie, and it just speaks volumes about your narrative and the choice that you're going with. Because to use Spider-Man to prop up a character that let's be honest here, folks. There's very, very, very few people that really care about Captain Marvel. And I know some people will say, "Oh, well, her new comic book sold really well last month." Well, that's because they're going to kill her off in the comic, and I think that's why people. I think that's why people are starting to read it again. So, and I believe that's where some of this rumor might have started. Possibly was the fact that they're killing her off in a comic. So they thought, well, is this a sign of things to come? You know, a harbinger of things to come for her cinematically. She still has, I believe, it's 3 movies, 4 movies left on her contract with Marvel. Now, that is not to say that those are, marquee roles for her as starring. Now, this whole thing with Spider-Man. Now, with him going to Sony, I think that this is the best thing to happen to him because they won't be able to cuck Spider-Man out and make him look like a buffoon. They've done a good enough job of that in Homecoming and Far From Home, and I say that because I actually enjoyed to some extent both those movies. Homecoming a little bit more than Far From Home, simply because I'm not that big of a Mysterio fan. I understand who and what he is, but I just wasn't a fan of him. I think Jake Gyllenhaal's performance was it was good, it was serviceable, but I didn't like the whole. I didn't like what they did to Peter. Peter automatically, because Jake Gyllenhaal helped him in one battle, or he helped Gyllenhaal, and he's, oh my God, you're so, you're so, so powerful and all this. Well, it's all an illusion anyway. But it was just funny because like he just gives the keys to, basically the keys to the castle of the Stark Industries, all the tech, Edith, the glasses, to Mysterio, like just like that. Like they meant nothing. Like it was me giving away, a pair of dollar store glasses. Jesus, dude. Like, is this really like what you want to make your Spider-Man look like? So if that was the Spider-Man that we're going to continue to get in the MCU, that dumb, naive, oh, I'll just trust you because I miss Mr. Stark, Mr. Stark, Mr. Stark, Mr. Stark. Hey, Mr. Stark. Fuck, man. Spider-Man is not somebody's second banana. Spider-Man is a goddamn hero, and he is a amazing one at that, literally. But not the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man, because we all know how that was. I came home the other day, and the wife had that on. I go, is this the Amazing Spider-Man too? She's like, yeah. I'm like, is there nothing else on? She's like, no. I'm like, can you put the church channel on or something? Can we watch Creflo Dollar, please? I will. I don't know. It feels you. I am Pete Daddy Dollar, and Creflo Dollar is my cousin. I'm still waiting for a ride on one of those fucking jets he bought.
That's okay. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, but no, man. I don't like what they were doing. I don't like them mistreating Spider-Man and treating him like he's some D-list character that they pulled out of nowhere just to appease a bunch of intersectional feminists. Oh wait, they did that with Captain Marvel.
But see, I feel like that's also the problem you get when you make the character so young. Yeah, I get it when when the cartoons were out. Peter Parker was younger, but Aunt May wasn't a fucking MILF. And I've heard the joke before. It's like, we're gonna be so young that Spider-Man's gonna be fucking like a toddler, and Aunt May's gonna be in junior high.
Yeah. I didn't mind, fucking Marissa Tomei.
No smoke show for being in her 50s. Get me a stick and a marshmallow. I'm making s'mores.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know what it is, but like you got her and Jennifer Aniston and Salma Hayek. These women are in their 50s, and then you take some of these little like the Kylie Jenners of the world and these like Miley Cyrus, like 25 to 30-year-old women, and it's like a 53-year-old makes you look bad, like, just aesthetically. It's insanity, and all I got to say about that is honk honk. So
Hong Kong, motherfucker.
honk
But
honk,
no, it's like the women you just mentioned are all in their 50s and they're absolutely gorgeous.
Yep.
I can just imagine that with no work in her 50s, Kylie Jenner's just going to look like someone's wrinkled old nutsack.
Yep. And that's speaking of like actresses who are older, but Famke Janssen that played Xenia Onatopp in Goldeneye, and she was Jean Grey in the X-Men. My God, she absolutely. I fell in love with her as Xenia Onatopp. Yeah. Yeah, she's a smoke show, man. But yeah, still looks good. Never had any plastic surgery either. That is the one thing I really admire about Famke Janssen. Yeah, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Miley already looked ugly. Yeah, you're right, David.
Real quick, I just need to correct you guys real quick. It's not Catherine Zeta-Jones. It's Catherine Zeta-Scarn. Just make sure you get the last name correctly.
Yeah, she was married to Michael Scarn.
Yeah.
Threat Level Midnight, baby.
Probably the best movie I've ever seen.
I don't think I've ever seen. I think that's like better than any James Bond movie that they probably ever made.
I think it's better than Cat Pan Mediocre.
Oh, I think it definitely outdrew Cat Pan Mediocre at the box office. You know what else? I'm trying to think of the other one. Oh God, what was it? It was Chunnel. Have you ever seen Chunnel?
Not.
You know what? Oh, it's I just dropped a Seinfeld reference at you.
Oh, I have to go back and watch it. I'll be honest, I've been remiss in my Seinfeld episodes.
Yeah, let's see. Sharon Stone never had surgery either. No, Sharon Stone is still really good looking. Catherine Bell. It was in Jag, and NCIS was the show that spun off from Jag. Now I was watching Jag not Jag. I was watching. I'm not in my 50s yet. The reason I only watched Jag was for Catherine Bell, because that was on when I was in high school. Raiders, is it getting hot in here? Is it just me? I think it's getting hot in here. Let's see. Flair X have not watched a Seinfeld episode ever, and it's not for everybody. I gotta go back and acknowledge. He said Elizabeth Hurley too, and yeah, Elizabeth Hurley is absolutely beautiful. Goober Brothers Entertainment. I'm sitting on the toilet, dropping a huge Danvers.
Must smell horrible, man. How are you gonna get the smell out?
He's dropping America's Ex-Wife in the bowl. But no, I was talking about NCIS. The guy that played Harm on there, who was also the moving guy in the episode of Seinfeld where Poppy peed on Jerry's couch. The moving guy that Elaine had the big crush on and dated until she found out he was anti-abortion was played Harm in Jag, and his name eludes me. But yeah, that was just another kind of little correlation there into the topic. And
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I just so they really want to take Spider-Man and just make him the butt of her jokes and make him look weak compared to her. And I mean, they did enough of that in the scene in Endgame where it's like all the women had to save him, which, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not like I said, I'm not anti-female superhero, because Scarlet Witch is probably my damn favorite character in the MCU. Unfortunately, Adam made the analogy in the meme that I am basically Darren McGavin with the broken lamp from A Christmas Story, which is the MCU. And I'm looking for the tape or the glue to put it back together. And fucking Kevin Feige used up all the damn glue on purpose.
He's a cocksucker. That's why.
So that was a brilliant analogy, and even better meme by the Groovinator the other day. I got a kick out of that. So
yeah,
and yeah, he did make a meme out of it, and then I had to make one. Kind of another one. I just put my head on Darren McGavin's body and put the Marvel Studios logo on the leg lamp. But you know me and my memes. Yeah. So let's see.
What are memes?
I have no idea what these memes are you speak of. Without two Avengers films to shoehorn Cat Pan Mediocre in between, is this why Marvel and Disney are holding back the release date? Because they have no box office protection for this. And this is the thing is, and this is what I got into it on the Denim Nerds earlier with a couple little goofballs over there. So that whole, and I wasn't really like insulting. I wasn't an asshole. I basically just said, well, they're not putting this movie out because they don't have bookends for it like they did, so they're like, oh, well, the Den of Nerds channel was, oh, well, there's going to be, the secret year in phase 4 that they just haven't announced yet. Well, if they do that, then cool. But they're probably going to put it after Black Panther 2, I would imagine, because Black Panther 2 is going to make another $1 billion. I'll guarantee that. That you can book that right now. That movie will make $1 billion.
Oh yeah.
And the release date is not, they didn't do it in February this time, which it was kind of baffling to me. But let me go back and acknowledge the chat here. It says they had to make her more likable by bringing in Spidey. What the fuck? That was Raiders. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, brother. It really doesn't. And I talked about this a little earlier. I was watching one of these little like Marvel cartoons that they play on the Disney Channel. My son was watching it in the afternoon. They play them like after school because they're geared at like the older kids. But it was Spider-Man and Captain Marvel. And if any of you have seen this, they made Spider-Man look like an idiot in a little kid's cartoon even. So, yeah, it was stupid. Goober Brothers Entertainment, Spidey needs to be protected at all costs. No more bullshit MCU. I have uncle issues. Hug me, Mr. Stark. Yes. that is if we could put that on a poster and send that to Kevin Feige, I would love that. Let's see. Admiral Tiberius. Scarlet Witch is going to be in the new Doctor Strange. Yes, please. Yeah, dude, mark me down. You know how I feel about Elizabeth Olsen. That is why I'm watching the WandaVision show, and I'm not paying for Disney Plus. And this is something I've been questioned about: is how can you be in the fandom menace without and still, be optimistic about this and watch some of this stuff? And I'm like, well, I've been chastised for being too negative on my channel. So I try to be a little bit positive about something, or at least put a positive spin on it until I get, I will try, and I promise I will try to be positive about things until I've been given a reason to be negative. And I always harken back to this example because it's recent. Thor 4, Loudy. How excited was I for Thor 4 when they announced it?
Let's see. When they announced it, I'm going to say you were probably fairly excited.
And within a week of that excitement and them making all the announcements to San Diego Comic-Con, what happened to my excitement?
Oh, it went down the shitter.
It was basically like Taika Waititi took my dog out back of the woodshed and shot it in the back of the head.
He said, fuck you, Mythos, mate.
He's like, I'm Taika Waititi. Yeah, I'll ruin your Mythos in a minute, baby. You don't know. I haven't given it to you yet. Yeah, fuck you, Taco Tuesday.
You make him sound like an Australian or like a Kiwi sounding Austin Powers.
I know, and it's when I speed it up. It's when I speed it up a little bit because I always bounce that off Chris Wicks, and he's always like, you're getting better, your cadence is getting good. So I always mess with him about that. But yeah, Taika Waititi, man, like I said, in Thor Ragnarok, I liked it at first, and after everything that's happened since then, and what they've done with Thor, I retroactively just despise that movie. Because, and this is how Linkle X7, Alex and I became friends, was a disagreement over Thor Ragnarok, which it wasn't a disagreement. It was just a discussion we had. We were on two opposite sides. We discussed it like adults. There was no arguing, no name calling, no passive aggressive insults. And, Alex is now a regular on my program. So it's just, you can, disagreements can, not breed contempt, but breed, friendships. And that's a good thing. Let's see. Sony saved Spider-Man. Without Spider-Man, there would be no MCU. Yes, David Applegate. Absolutely. That's correct, man. That is correct, because that Sam Raimi trilogy really laid that groundwork, because it sure as hell wasn't the Daredevil movie or the Elektra movie, which, like I said, man, it was like a product of their times, because right around that time you still had that garbage tier Fantastic Four. Well, the first one that came out, it wasn't as bad as the 2015 one, which I haven't watched yet. I haven't watched Josh Trank's continuation of Chronicle yet, but yeah, probably not gonna do that. I don't know. The kid saw it in the store the other day. Let's see, bullshit. Let's see, I'm sure we all called each other a bitch at one point. No, actually, we didn't, man. No, you can ask Alex. We never really argued at all, dude. It was it was like a good discussion. I was just like, I like it, and he's like, I don't. He gave me reasons why, and I was like, God damn it, you're right, because then I saw what they did to Thor in Endgame, and it's like I went back. I said, "You're absolutely right, brother." And then all the announcements for Thor 4, Love and Legumes, the Kevin Thor story, came out. It's like
Love and legumes.
This is what we got. The first Hulk, yeah, Ang Lee's Hulk, David. That was bad. The Punisher. Are you talking the Thomas Jane Punisher, Flare X, or let's see, what Thomas Jane or Dolph Lundgren? Because the Dolph Lundgren one was cool, man. Raiders says Fantastic Four will bore you both, Pete. Then I probably won't watch it. I probably won't watch it at all. Hey, Chris Wicks is back. I'm back, bitches. Just driving to my next job. Hi, here it is. I'll do it. Hi, Chris. It's me, Taika Waititi. Come on in. Have a beer, mate. Sit down. Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I'll ruin your mythos in a minute. There you go. There you go. Is it? Eric said I sound like an Australian Kiwi, Chris. I don't know, man. Let me know what you think, David. You too.
I said you sound like an Australian Austin. Well, you also didn't add baby to it, but not on that one. But I just say that you sound like an Australian Austin Powers. And like, I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby. But I mean that's not Australian or even the Kiwi, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But as far as Thor Ragnarok goes, I could say like when I've only seen it once, and it was one of the movies that my fiance and I were watching while working our way up so we could go see Endgame in theaters. Well, I would say we both enjoyed it all up until Thor lost his eye, and we saw the shit job they did with the makeup. It's like you couldn't have made that look a little bit more realistic. This is going to be almost $1 billion movie. Or at least it's going to be a high grossing movie, and you're telling me you can't use the effects to make it look like, oh shit, Thor actually just lost his fucking eye.
Yep. I mean that's yeah. Ragnarok, man. Like I said, I've watched that. I've watched that movie because Trey loves that one because of the soundtrack, man. Because he used to Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. That was awesome. I liked that part.
Yep. Like I said, man, there's some kick-ass scenes in there, but I honestly think the best instance, the best moment that Thor had didn't even come in his own movies. It came in Infinity War when him and Groot and Rocket made their entrance to Wakanda, and he comes down the middle of the battlefield, Stormbreaker, bah, takes out a bunch of Chitauri, and the Bring Me Thanos line. I mean, that shit, he was just like, he was bad as fuck there. Like that moment in time, that was like what Thor, in my opinion, should be.
Right.
Just a complete fucking badass. I mean, obviously you got to make him weak. He's got to suffer because everybody, we want to see him go through that hero's journey. But I don't want to see Thor get cucked out and see him have PTSD and, get fucking fat and pathetic. I mean, it's just like you really, dude. And then you're gonna push him out of his own movie,
Well, how are we gonna put down straight white men?
Yeah, I know, dude. And Taika Waititi even said that the goddamn he's like, oh, he's got a place in the movie. He's got a place in the movie, and we're like, what? Like, of course he has a place in the movie. It's a fucking Thor movie. Oh well, Natalie Portman's just in it, and Thor's a star. I'm like, well, when you first came out, you said the movie is about Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie finding her queen because she's the king of New Asgard, and Jane Foster becoming the mighty Thor. So where does that leave real Thor? I should say
go hang out with Loki.
Loki might as well just come and snag him up, or have Heimdall. Heimdall's dead. Never mind.
Yeah.
Wait, he didn't come back from the snap, did he?
If he did, they didn't show him in Endgame.
No, he got killed. That's right. No. He got killed in Infinity War because Thanos ran him through.
Yeah.
In the very beginning. That was the carryover from Ragnarok.
Yeah. Thanos wrecked his shit. He's like, I'm just going to kill you like this.
Yeah, because he stabbed him with Corvus Glaive's weapon. His glaive, actually, it's called. But yeah, he stabbed him with that, I think it was.
So believe it or not, that was actually my first introduction to Heimdall. I had no idea who he was until I saw. And so I watched him a little bit out of order. I watched Infinity War with WCBS, and that was when I was first introduced to Heimdall. And then I had no idea that was Idris Elba. I had no idea who that was even supposed to be. It's like, oh, some figures. The first person to die in this movie is a black guy. And then, like I said, I mean, and obviously I went back and I watched all the movies in order, and I was like, oh wow. And like Heimdall actually grew to be my favorite character, and I totally forgot he died. And then when my fiance and I watched Infinity War again, he died. I was like, oh god, I had to go through that twice.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Because Heimdall is like a badass character too.
Hell yeah, I love Heimdall.
Yeah, dude. And Idris Elba's a kick-ass actor too. Like, I really like him, which was so funny when he was on The Office, because it was like, really, he's on The Office? Like, this is I was like, what? But he was funny, man. I really liked his arc. I thought it was funny because Idris Elba was like, he's stepping up to Michael Scott stepping up to him, and it's like he just goes running away. It was funny. Let's see. Goober Brothers Entertainment says, I don't care what anyone says. Natalie Portman still gets my pod racer going. and under that, Raiders says, ask her if she's an angel, Cody.
Oh my god.
Flair X, he needed his calendar cleared to play Bond, talking about Idris Elba.
but Idris Elba doesn't want to play Bond anymore.
Yeah, they've got Lashana Lynch, Monica Rambeau.
Who?
The girl that looks like she has a caterpillar for an eyebrow.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they're going female for this one. Yeah, another movie I won't see.
Wait, Raiders of the Lost Flick says they live on the moons of Yago, I think. Oh, he's going deep in the playbook on the Phantom Menace now.
Yeah.
The Anakin pickup lines to Padme. Oh God!
So you want to show me your full moon of Yago, or
yeah? So I don't know, man. Like, back to like the talking point for this, I don't think that they've got a release date for this. Like I said, just basically because they don't have anything to shoehorn it in between. They don't have the bookends to guarantee a $1 billion turnaround at the box office. Right. So they're not going to release this until they get probably another cinematic release after Black Panther that they would estimate it will make that money. So then they'll try to shove Cat Pan Mediocre in there, and they'll do the same thing. They'll go back and do reshoots and retcons and to make her fit the new narrative of the MCU. Yep. Let's see. What else we got here? Oh yeah. Let's see. We got
9-year-old got game, yo.
Yeah. Yeah, Anakin's got mad game. Raiders, Yago, make me lose my mind up in here. Oh, Cody's killing it tonight, man. Cody's killing it tonight. y'all. This is a good fucking chat we got going on here, man.
Yeah, it is.
I got 8 people in the chat right now. I don't know. Let me get 8 bitch slaps to that like button. I mean, beat that shit up like an ass whooping. Go out there and beat it like it owes you money. Let's see. David, Disney has cash problems. Look how they cannot fund phase 4 and 5 to get to the same level as 3. Well, yeah, that's the problem. Is they blew their nut. Really. In phase 3, I mean, the one thing I'm keeping on the back burner is Guardians of the Galaxy 3. All right, that for me is like I'm hoping that's like my Oasis movie in the MCU. That, and because I would like to say it would be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I'm cautiously optimistic for that, because like I said, I'm happy Elizabeth Olsen will be in it. They're going to be using that to get things going. Off the WandaVision show, we'll get the multiverse thing going, and then they'll kick that into full effect in Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, and use that to introduce Nightmare, which would be cool. Let's see. Raider says, Cody, you're fucking nuts. We need to get arrested together sometime. Well, you're both Florida men. So I mean, hey, Florida men gonna do what Florida men gonna do.
Yeah. If I don't see a news article about you guys when I look up Florida Man, then I'm gonna be disappointed.
Who was it that posted that? It was Alex that posted that damn Florida man meme with the guy doing the Dirty Dancing thing with the alligator. Did you see that?
I did not.
It was like, it said absolutely no one. And this is literally absolutely no one. And it's got a dude holding an alligator up out of the water. It's like, now I've had the time of.
No, I did see that one. I thought that might have been Cody.
I don't know if it was Cody or Alex. I think Alex posted it and tagged Cody in it.
It might have been what it was.
Something like that. But yeah, dude, that meme, I saw that and I was like, I was like literally ready to do a spit take because that shit was hilarious.
Oh, don't be a spitter. Spitters are quitters.
Yeah, swallow, what the fuck,
There you go.
Like George Carlin said in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, I'll take a shot to the back of the throat if it get me a couple 100 miles across the country. Fuck it, those are the rules of the road, boys.
Oh God! And then Carrie Fisher comes in as the nun. Oh my God! It was so awkward but hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I mean, the gator I did that with wasn't as big, but it happened. Oof. I would. No, I ain't fucking with no alligators, man. Unless I got alligator shoes. That's about as close I want to get to a gator.
You having a hard time holding those alligators down there?
What's that?
So you having a hard time holding those alligators down?
Nah, me and mine, man. I kicked people in the nuts with them shoes in the wrestling ring before.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to give this dude a stunner, and he was about 6 inches shorter than me, and I booted him in the nuts on accident with them.
Oh,
yeah. He says,
that's not cool,
don't ever wear those again. I was like, we'll grow another 6 inches.
What did he say to that?
His wife thanked me because they already had 4 kids. She's like, I wish you would have kicked him a little bit harder because he won't get clipped. I was like, God damn, Dave, your wife ain't even got your back. Oh, let's see. Y'all need to watch Crawl. Yep, Admiral Tiberius, I think it was, brought that up earlier, and I do want to see that, actually. That's going to be one where I've got a streaming site I can probably check that out on, and that'll be one I'll watch. Because I'm kind of that looked cool. I like those kind of that kind of like that I would consider kind of like, not really like a monster movie, but like I don't know, but it looks cool. Now, what was that? Wasn't there a movie where they flushed a crocodile down the toilet and it like grew in the sewers to be like some giant fucking thing? That was like an older movie though.
Crocodile Dundee.
Call that a knife. It's a knife.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh man. All right. Now this is the point of the program where this is kind of we're just me and Loudy are gonna indulge ourselves here for a moment. But you know what we should do first, Loudy, before we get into this. So in case anybody decides to leave because of topic,
yeah,
let's do who's worthy of Mjolnir. Now I don't think we haven't done this live, had we?
We have not done this live. This is the first time we've done this on a live stream.
And hang on, let me get the banner up there on the screen.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, maybe you haven't heard the Anchor show yet. I mean, I'm sure some of you have, some of you probably haven't, and that's okay. I'm gonna fill you in. We have a little segment called "Who's Worthy of Mjolnir," and we figured that we could make someone else worthy on a weekly basis. Because the MCU, obviously, they don't care about Thor and
so why should we?
So why should we? So I will give you a rundown of who has been worthy of wielding Mjolnir since we started doing this topic, this little segment by Coach Loudy. We've been doing this is week number 5 for who's worthy of Mjolnir, and so past worthy folks of holding Mjolnir are Jared from Subway, Nyla Rose, and for those of you who don't know, Nyla Rose is a transgender professional wrestler who pretends to be a woman. This was after, I believe, week 1 of the NFL season, wasn't it? Yeah, it was the Detroit Lions organization.
Yep.
Because they snatched a tie from the jaws of victory. And number 4, and I think he needs it now more than ever, is Big Ben Roethlisberger. Because and I had to cover this for you last week, and as I said, because Big Ben Roethlisberger, he's Berber carpet. He wields what he wants, when he wants, however he wants to.
Yep.
And that he is worthy of wielding Mjolnir. So without further ado, Coach Loudy, who is our Week 5 winner?
Well, I'll be honest. I had to think about this, and I promised myself it wasn't going to be another athlete or another sports personality. But God damn it, he just made it way too easy. Now, let's talk about what Mjolnir is. All right, as we always do, we talk about what Mjolnir is. We talk about its backstory a little bit and how Mjolnir chooses who's worthy. Let's think about it. In all the Thor movies, we see a guy who's cool under pressure. We see a guy who, and no one's perfect. He makes some mistakes here every now and again. It's going to happen. So, but he's able to prove himself. He's able to prove to Mjolnir, I'm worthy. I'm the one able to defend Asgard. I'm the one able to save these people, this, that, and the other. And Mjolnir's like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Well, it's 2019, folks, and quite frankly, this crazy ass motherfucker would hold Mjolnir. He would destroy entire cities, towns, and everything just to get his money. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the worthy of holding Mjolnir this week is, in fact, Antonio Brown. Someone who was not cool, calm, and collective. Someone who was not good under pressure. And for those of you who are Facebook friends with me and you saw this meme earlier, for those of you who haven't, here it is. It's like Antonio Brown's that Make-A-Wish kid where his only wish was to catch a touchdown from Tom Brady. And he got that wish granted in a game against the Dolphins.
And I think like they did on Family Guy, I think the little kid in a wheelchair could have scored a touchdown against the Dolphins, because aren't they basically like a junior varsity or a freshman team right now?
My junior high kids might be able to actually give them a little run for their money.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Antonio Brown is our Week 5 winner for who is worthy of Mjolnir.
Crazy
and
fuck.
God, dude, did he? I mean, he probably would have got not got away with that shit, but I don't think he did that shit. And he just keeps running his mouth. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, are you dumb?
Yeah, I mean, if you have to ask, he probably is.
Yeah. The only guy to have his bin in his jersey in the cheat bin for 3 teams at the same time.
Yeah. And it's funny because, he's the only person I've ever seen who could run his mouth and talk himself out of $40 million.
Oh, and he did that with a quickness. I mean, It was like drop of a hat, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even, like I said, man, this is the thing. And I know we don't talk a lot of professional, sports on here. We do sometimes.
Yeah.
You and I both come from, athletic backgrounds. But I can't understand, is somebody who like killed myself, playing even just high school football, and then 9 years in the wrestling business. Now I was a ring announcer for most of that, but I still bumped and trained and did things. I had to take bumps as an announcer because I would get involved in matches. I was a manager too. So yeah, I mean, and I did this shit for basically, chump change, little pennies.
Yeah.
I would drive 200 miles to a fucking show and have to smile and take an envelope with $5-10 in it sometimes. If
hot
I was
dog and a handshake.
that's it, man. If you're in the Indies, you better be happy with a hot dog and a handshake and maybe a soda if you're lucky. But yeah, so I mean, for guys like this, who, I mean, Antonio Brown, there's no denying that the man has God-given talents as an athlete.
Yeah.
And is like, I mean, the dude is a fucking amazing athlete. But you're a fucking idiot, dude. And then I saw a report that he already went back and enrolled at Central Michigan University. I'm like, oh, here comes another Me Too case. Shit. I mean, he better be taking online classes because I mean, I don't know how many more Me Too's he can get himself out of.
I don't know how much money he's got left.
He ain't gonna have shit after this.
I know he's trying to what's he trying to do? Oh, he's trying to I think sue both the Patriots and the Raiders so he can get his $40 million.
Yeah, good luck with that, man. Good luck with that.
Hey, if I could just get like 2 or 3 of that, I'd be set, bro.
I don't even think the players' union's gonna have his back in this one. I mean, this motherfucker is gonna be like, I don't know if he'll be as looked at as bad as Kaepernick, but it's going to be a close race.
I think this is worse. I really do.
Yeah. Oh shit. Here, wait. I got it because Cody. I gotta acknowledge these, bro. Look at this. Can you imagine Pat's fans who ordered his jersey?
Yeah.
They're like, we can give you a Julian Edelman.
No, to get that AB, bro.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here's another one. Antonio Brown still uses dial-up.
So I saw a funny picture actually. It was somebody from the it was at the Bills game over the weekend where they beat I'm sorry, well beat isn't exactly the term. They were given a win by the Cincinnati Bengals, and it looked like someone actually in the stands like ordered a custom 84 jersey. And it said "fuck AB" in the nameplate, like where the name would be. Now, for those of you who don't remember, for like a real hot second, Buffalo almost got Antonio Brown.
Oh shit, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, it almost happened. And then because the Steelers like, hey, we're gonna send you to Buffalo, and he's like, fuck you guys, you ain't sending me to that shithole. And then they're like, oh, okay. Hey, we'll send you to Oakland. All right, let's go to Oakland. And it's funny because when he was out in Oakland, he actually got when he almost got into a fight and shit with like the general manager. It was Vontaze Burfict's crazy ass who had to hold him back. And we all know how crazy Vontaze Burfict is.
This is a fucking nutcase too, man.
Yeah. Like Antonio Brown makes Vontaze Burfict look like this motherfucker needs a straitjacket.
I mean, you throw Ndamukong Suh in there and Richie Incognito, and you got yourself a hell of a 4-way dance right there.
Yeah, you do. Put that in a cage, you could sell tickets.
Wait, what do you say? You mean Las Vegas? Are the Raiders a Vegas team now? Is that what
they're going? I think this is their last season in Oakland, and they're going to Vegas next week. Or next week, next year.
Boy, and they said Vegas would never have professional sports because of the gambling, but what, man? Yeah, they were like, fuck that. We don't even care anymore.
Say, hey, watch this. We're going to do it anyway.
Yep. Oh, you guys are worried about gambling and pro sports? Bam! We're putting a pro sports team there. They're like, it's the Raiders, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
Well, the Raiders are actually doing pretty decent this year, except for, this past Sunday they got, anally pounded by the Vikings. But, I mean, other than that, they've been doing pretty good.
Well, I mean, shit, dude. Kirk Cousins needed to get something going for Minnesota because he has a big ass contract because they spent a lot of money to get him out of Washington.
Yep.
And yeah, hockey was there first, man. That's right. What is the in Vegas? That's Flair X. What is
the
Vegas Golden Knights? Vegas Golden Knights.
Golden Knights. That's right. Yeah, they're new.
Yeah. Have they even played a game yet?
Yeah, they almost made it to the Stanley Cup last year, I think.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I haven't really paid attention to hockey in a couple of years. Goober Brothers Entertainment says Raiders are getting their own place in Vegas while the Jets and Giants still got a share.
I mean, that's true.
That is, man. I never understood that, man, because they call, they're both New York teams, but they play in fucking New Jersey. That reminds me of that old World League team called the New York, New Jersey Knights. Oh, they won a cup the year before last, Flair X said. Okay, yeah, I literally have not watched hockey in years. Like I said, after I was a huge Red Wings fan, and I still got to go when I go to my mom's house, I'll get the pictures next time. I was holding the Stanley Cup. I mean, it was cool because I was like the huge Red Army fan when the Russians were all on the Red Wings. They had all the Fedorov, Kozlov, Konstantinov, Fatizov, and I'm missing one I can't remember, but
Vladimir Kozlov.
Yep, man. It was damn, dude. That had such a good line. And hey, Adam, because Adam from Raiders is Groovy is a Blackhawks fan, and I think it was this past it was last week on like I forgot to make fun of him about it. It was like Monday or Tuesday. We beat the Blackhawks like 5-3, but it was only preseason, so I kind of let it go.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the wings pulling out. Like I said, I'm going to try to kind of loosely follow hockey a little bit more this year, but I gave up on the NBA and stuff like that years ago. Let's see here. All right, so we right now are going to kind of jettison into a topic that is near and dear to both of us. And so we're going to kind of indulge ourselves here for a moment. I hope we don't scare everybody away, but we're going to talk a little bit of pro wrestling for a little bit here because we're running. It's 11:45, and I know Loudy's got to get up in the morning, so we'll jet through this article, and we'll do next Monday on the Anchor. We'll be back to normal next week, folks. It'll be a full show on Anchor on Monday night, and no live stream Monday, but possibly we'll see how everything goes. And the reason I'm doing this is because Anchor, the app, is kind of a lot of you like Groove have been on my show. Goober Brothers has been on my show before on Anchor, and we've lost some footage, some audio, and had some issues with it. So that's why I kind of decided to do some more live streams on Monday night. So Flair says it's 8:45. You're where you are. Oh, I would love that right now.
Yeah, me too.
Damn. Goober Brothers says my wrestler name would be the Human Pub Sub. I just want to hug Cody right now. I really do. He's been on fire all night in the chat, dude. Like,
if I was trying to get some heel heat, I'd probably call myself Incel Cuckinator.
I have a certain hat I would just wear to the ring if I really wanted to, but I like I said, the company I was in 2016 split our locker room in half. It was really bad. So that's why we kind of all shied away from that kind of, those kind of gimmicks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we did. I booked this kid one time when I was running a company, and I'll say this before I jump into this article, who came up with, I would get there would be 5-6 guys from Nashville. It was Shane Morton, who is Ricky Morton from the Rock and Roll Express. It's his nephew. Shane was a super, super cool guy, veteran. We'd bring this big cat in named Buzzed Up, who was literally always buzzed up. Dude was the biggest stoner I've ever met. Fun as hell to party with. Me and Mikey Woods, and somebody, a wrestling fan will probably know this name of Jamie Dundee, aka JC Ice, one half of the tag team that founded the Nation of Domination, PG-13. Yes, the Nation of Domination in WWF back in the Attitude Era was not founded by a bunch of militant black wrestlers that Vince McMahon put together. No, it was founded by Bill Dundee in the Deep South and his son, Jamie Dundee, and his partner, Wolfie D, JC Ice and Wolfie D, were the founding members of the Nation of Domination. Vince McMahon liked the gimmick. He signed those two to contracts, brought the gimmick in, put Ron Simmons, who is an amazing worker and an even cooler guy, D'Lo, Mark Henry, The Godfather. Wasn't Savio Vega in there for a moment?
Yep, Ahmed Johnson was in there for a split second. The Rock.
Yep, The Rock. Well, yeah, The Rock. That, yeah. So
whoever that guy is.
Yeah, whoever that guy is. Yeah,
a jobber.
Yeah,
never drew a dime.
The Maivia kid, that came out with a big smile and the goofy hair and the fanny pack.
Yeah.
Flair X says, "Damn." But yeah, man, that stable was completely started by Bill Dundee down in USWA, and then Vince stole the gimmick, hired his kid to bring it in, and then fired JC Ice and Wolfie D and sent them packing. So that's how the Nation of Domination came to be in the Fed.
That sounds about right. Sounds like a Vinnie Mac thing to do.
That's a Vinnie Mac thing to do. So with that being said, let's bop on over to an article about 10 WCW tag teams we forgot about.
Oh, there's one right there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how many people remember Goldberg and Bret the Hitman Hart having a run with the straps?
I
Now,
remember him ending Bret Hart's career.
I was gonna say I remember him kicking Hart and ending his fucking career, but and Bret Hart was right about Seth Rollins. He's a shit worker who is overrated and unsafe. How many people has Seth Rollins injured?
Sting.
Severely. Ended his
Sting.
career.
Again, Sting.
What's his name? Finn Balor.
No, Finn Balor's career isn't over. But
It wasn't.
him.
He injured him he was out for like a year, and
Totally.
Balor had just picked up the Universal title too.
Yep.
So that was a big issue with
I
him.
would have loved to have seen where that had gone. I would have loved to have seen where that title reign would have gone for Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm. Flair X says the Dudley Boys. Dude, the Dudley Boys are fucking that's I've done the get the table things a couple times. So that was fun. Let's see. This is like I said, this is from the Sportster. It says the tag team division was one of the strongest things about WCW during their run. Duos like the Harlem Heat, the Steiner brothers, who are from Michigan, the Road Warriors delivered impressive matches. The Road Warriors were the first two action figures I ever got as wrestling action figures, and I still have them to this day. The WCW Tag Team Championship was a respected title during the peak years of the company. However, not all the talented teams from WCW's run get remembered as finally as the top performers. Quite a few have become forgotten in the history of the company. Let's see. So we'll look at the teams that the average fan either doesn't remember or never learned about. These teams brought enough to the table to have a run together, but without the accomplishments to leave a legacy like some of their memorable peers. All right, let's see here. So we got the Jersey Triad. Now, these were three really kick-ass workers right here. Bam Bam Bigelow was legitimately a former bounty hunter who was an intimidating figure just to look at. But it's so funny because he looks so big, but you put him next to Canyon and DDP, and he's short. Because Canyon, Chris Canyon was like, what, 6'6"? DDP was like around this, 6'6", 6'5". So, Bigelow was like, what, like 5'11", 6 foot tall? I mean, look at him. He looks short.
Yeah, he's about my height.
Compared to those two, he looks short anyway. But, I mean, Diamond Dallas Page's heel turn gave him his own faction with friends Canyon and Bigelow and the Jersey Triad. All three wrestlers had their roots in Jersey and shared a bond backstage that made their time together come off well as a result of their chemistry. Now, Bam Bam Bigelow was at Asbury Park, New York, I think it was. Mm-hmm. That was his finisher in ECW is called Greetings from Asbury Park.
Wasn't that a moonsault?
No, that was his version of not an FU, but no, the Greetings from Asbury Park was his moonsaw. That's right. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking of, but yeah, that was his moonsaw. Let's see. Oh, Goober Brothers said I went to school with Hacksaw Jim Duggan's daughters. Are they? What? I want to know what they look like. I'm kind of curious.
Do they look like hoes at all?
It says they dominated the tag team division during their time together in various forms. Bigelow and Canyon teamed together when Page had a bigger singles feud. The duo of Canyon and DDP was considered the most successful of the combinations, and they even continued in WWE. The Jersey Triad themselves, though, are sometimes forgotten. And if a lot of you don't know, 2 out of 3 of those guys are dead. God rest their souls. Chris Canyon died, and so did Bigelow. Canyon actually came out of the closet after he was out of wrestling because he was terrified of his coming out as gay during his career. And this tag team right here, this was one of my favorites that is kind of underrated is the Great Muta Vampiro, because Vampiro Brian Alvarez was a kick-ass fucking worker. His run with Raven and ICP in what was that, the Dark Carnival?
Yeah.
Was kick-ass, and they threw Muta in with that. So WCW paired the Great Muta and Vampiro for their common theme, elaborate face paint. Both wrestlers were lower mid-card, which is sad because Muta was a fucking main eventer.
Yeah.
Which made the team fit well. Vampiro and Muta even had the rap group Insane Clown Posse appear with them at ringside. The run was solid, but limited the potential of both wrestlers. WCW did put some of their matches on a best-of DVD compilation set in hopes of spiking Japanese sales, but otherwise the duo of Muta and Vampiro did not create much of a legacy. I still remember it. Number 8. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm going to pull this music up just so I can fuck with the chat.
Yes,
Let's
I
see.
love American males.
The American males, Marcus Buff Bagwell and Scotty
Riggs.
Scotty
American males.
American
males. American males.
It's been said that theme song sounds like what aliens would think that American guys like to listen to. This is so old, but it says Buff Bagwell was a part of many different tag teams in WCW. The one that stands out most was the American Males with Scotty Riggs as his partner. WCW saw potential in both wrestlers and wanted them to be a staple of the tag team division moving forward. The start of the New World Order would limit the run of the American Males. Bagwell was one of the young stars selected to join the NWO, which led him to turn on Riggs.
You don't want a weekend lover.
It's so bad. It's so bad. But
so hold on, real quick. I'm sorry to sidecar us here. So which one is worse? All right, I'm gonna give you two more.
Okay.
American Males, Man Called Sting, or Steinerized.
Oh God. Oh God. The Sting song that was from the early 90s. That
he used it up until 97, like because 96 was his last year using it.
Yep, because that's when he switched to the Crow Sting.
Yep.
I would say the Steinerized one because
Steinerized!
Oh God. Even Scotty hates that. They played that goddamn song at an indie show he was working at, like I think a year or two ago, and he got on the mic and went absolutely fucking ballistic. Like,
you turn that fucking bullshit off.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
No, I didn't, but I could imagine Scott Steiner just fucking losing his shit.
He did. He got pissed. He was like, and then he used this fucking stupid song I haven't used in goddamn 20 years. It was so funny. I'm like,
were you there?
No. I saw it on YouTube. Oh God, I wish I was there. No, this was out. This was like at a bigger promotion, I believe, like out east somewhere in like New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was fucking funny, man. Let's see. So yeah, WCW continued to use Buff and new tag teams while Riggs struggled to get television time. And I actually was proposed to be in a tag team. Now, this would have caused me to leave my partner James, which I was absolutely unwilling to do. But one of the other guys in our stable left the company and wanted me to follow suit and do like a vicious and delicious gimmick with me being the delicious and him being vicious because he was like 6'5" and about 340 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And do a Scott Norton and Buff Bagwell type tag team. Which those two, when Scott Norton is one of the most underrated workers to ever work in the United States because you go over to Japan, that man was a fucking god.
Yeah.
And you know, New Japan Pro Wrestling, you know, he was royalty over there, but you know, here he was like a lower card guy. But let's go down the list here to number 7, the Public Enemy, Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge.
They lasted all of 3 months in WWE.
Well, the Acolytes beat the living shit out of them
on a Sunday Night Heat.
Yes, they did. There was more potatoes there than in a Russian vodka fucking factory, man.
Holy shit.
Them two, they were not big guys either. They were, you know, both south of 6 foot. And you've got Bradshaw, who is, you know, famously a fucking bully. And Ron Simmons, who's not a bully, but Ron Simmons is just a tough guy and he'll knock your fucking head off. I mean, the guy was an All-American football player at Florida State University.
Yep.
So Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock found success in ECW's Public Enemy. Paul Heyman pushed the tag team to represent the hardcore style he wanted to display after taking over the promotion from Todd Gordon, because before that it was Eastern Championship Wrestling for those of you keeping score at home. Public Enemy signed a deal with WCW once Eric Bischoff realized the ECW roster had noteworthy talents. WCW used Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge as a secondary team below the upper tier of Harlem Heat and the Steiner brothers. Their run in WCW did see Public Enemy win the WCW Tag Team Championship as the biggest accomplishment of their careers. Unfortunately, it didn't improve their standing, and fans ultimately forgot about them. I think both of them are dead now, actually. Now, this is a team that I was really disappointed when they didn't pan out in WWE or WWF back then, was Chronic, because both these guys were fucking badasses. The duo of Brian Clark and Brian Adams struggled in singles roles in WCW, so it made sense for them to join forces. Both wrestlers were good friends and presented an intimidating presence when teaming together. The team of Chronic became the top duo for WCW in 2000 towards the end of the company's run. Many fans already tuned out of WCW due to the programming declining. Not me. I watched every fucking show they put out, every pay-per-view, and I taped Raw. So they missed out on the run of Chronic. Clark and Adams immediately made more of an impact as a team than they did in singles action. WCW even booked the Chronic main event of Halloween Havoc 2000 against Goldberg. Yeah, them two, man, they were really good. And remember Brian Clark, who was Wrath. You know, he started as Wrath, or Adam Bomb in WWF. Thank you, Chris Wicks. You got to take off. All right, man. Hey, have a great night, Chris. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, dude. I appreciate it. I know it's late there. David, you too, man. You guys are both on that in the same time, and yeah, it's late.
Yeah.
Let's see, but yeah, man. And then Brian Adams, he was in the NWO. That didn't really work out, but yeah, the hired gun role really worked for them.
Oh God, number 5,
the Hollywood Blondes. Brian fucking Pillman and Steve Austin. Steve Austin and Brian Pillman showed incredible potential in working together as the Hollywood Blondes in the early 90s. Both wrestlers had great skills in singles action, but the team allowed them to finally showcase their talents in WCW. And a lot of people, the younger fans, might not know if you haven't looked back. Brian Pillman was in a really good tag team with the Z-Man, Tom Zink, before teaming with Steve Austin.
That I didn't know.
Yeah. Yep. Pillman and Zink, man, the Z-Man. But they split kind of like a Rockers kind of thing. I think Pillman turned on him. That was like, you're talking like right off of the heels of Jim Crockett Promotions type stuff. Most fans forget about their run together, though, due to WCW not becoming a bigger promotion until the Monday Night Wars. Austin's career is also rightfully remembered for a singles run in WWE. Nevertheless, the Hollywood Blondes still deserve more recognition as a top-tier, underrated duo in WCW history. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Number 4. Oh, this is a great one.
I've never heard of these guys.
You've never heard of the West Texas Rednecks?
I've not heard. Remember, I was a WWF loyalist. Like,
yeah, true.
My cousin Luke. He's also my best man at my wedding. He was a WCW guy. Loved Goldberg. And one time I remember it was right after Halloween Havoc. I think they were showing Goldberg versus DDP, and like on Nitro. Because I think that was the same pay-per-view where like it got cut short, so you missed that match and you missed the Hogan Warrior match. So it's like 8:55, and I go to leave his room. He's like, "Where you going?" I'm like, "It's 8:55, man. Raw starts in 5 minutes."
Oh hell, man! So the West Texas Rednecks. It was Kurt Hennig, Bobby Duncombe Jr. What's his name? And the Barry and Kendall Windham. So they put them together. Okay, so I'll just read this. WCW signing rapper Master P led to a new group forming to oppose him. Rey Mysterio and Conan represented Master P and the No Limit Soldiers. Kurt Hennig was not a fan of rap music, nor did he like seeing a celebrity on television, which led to the feud. The West Texas Rednecks became an official team under the leadership of Hennig, Barry Windham, Kendall Windham, and Bobby Duncombe Jr. I've created all these guys on WWF No Mercy. All worked alongside Hennig and attacked Master P's group in the ring and with parody country music songs. And there is a song, I will post it in the Place to Be Reviews group. It's called I Hate Rap by by fucking the West Texas Rednecks, and Kurt Hennig sings. I gotta acknowledge the chat here. Raiders Lost Flick says, now I know how MJ feels. You know what, man? And I have to bring this up because she actually has a wrestling segment that she's been waiting to do on Monday night with me and Loudy. So I'm kind of excited.
Ooh, I didn't even know about this. This is news to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, these two tagged?
Yes, they did. Yeah,
oh God, the Wunderkind?
Das Wunderkind und the Disco Inferno, Glenn Gilberti.
Oh.
Yeah. There's so many guys in our locker room that reminded me of Disco Inferno, like that I worked with in the last company I was with, especially when our stable, the team rating started to take off. It was like, and there was one guy, and I didn't like him, but I wanted to bring him in just to make him our Disco Inferno, and just make him the butt of all the jokes, but they wouldn't let me because like, well, that's kind of mean. I'm like, well, I mean, he's not really a good worker, so I don't really care. I mean, I don't want. Like I said, I wasn't the best guy. I was the best worker, but what I lacked for in the ring, I made up for with my microphone skills. So, and that was the thing with my abilities in the ring. I never really reached my full potential, but I never really did anything that was out of my wheelhouse that would expose myself in any way either. So, I always stuck to my what I was good at. Two comedic characters with a similar gimmick united to form the Dancing Fools in WCW. Alex Wright once had potential to move up the card, but WCW eventually used him as a comedy dancing heel. Disco Inferno had the same presentation as a glorified jobber. The Dancing Fools became a consistent fixture in the WCW tag team division for many months. Inferno and Wright would provide their entertainment with their over-the-top dance routines during their entrance, but would often get squashed to put over the legitimacy of their opposing teams.
It's probably one of the teams that squashed him right here.
Oh, I'm sure they ran over him at one point or another. Number 2, Goldberg and Bret Hart. The rare instance of a forgettable team involving two legends featured Goldberg and Bret Hart working together in WCW. Hart and Goldberg surprisingly won the WCW Tag Team Championships when defeating Creative Control, which those of you who don't know what Creative Control is, that is Ron and Don Harris, who were also DOA, Chains and 8 Ball in WWE. Who I love the Harris boys they used to be the Wild Harris boys. And I think it was like Mid-South or Smoky Mountain. Back in the day, they had long hair. They weren't bald. They were fucking badasses. And these two were like legitimate like bikers. Like that wasn't a gimmick. They were like straight up like bad motherfuckers. They lost the titles a week later to Hall and Nash. This was a storyline of two opponents working together in between their feud. Hart eventually turned heel on Goldberg a few weeks later to form the NWO 2000 faction with Hall, Nash, Jeff Jarrett, and Scott Steiner. And that stable went on to later become the Magnificent Seven. The short reign of Goldberg and Hart as a team would see both men become Triple Crown champions in WCW. Is that going to be on the quiz later, says Adam? Yes. Number 1, the Faces of Fear. Okay, and this right here, this man on the left, Ming,
whoop your ass.
He is probably in his 60s, and there are workers to this day, because he still works independent shows, that are terrified of that man because the strength that he's a beast. They're the big guys. The guys bigger than him were even afraid of him. These two, and Barbarian was the same way. They're both like just tough guys. Like Ming, especially though. He was feared, and that's like legendary. Like I've worked in locker rooms with guys that have been on cards with him, and you just do not talk to him. Move out of his way unless he talks to you first, kind of guy. But aside from that, like he's a nice guy. He's just a tough motherfucker. The best tag team from WCW to get little love today would probably be the Faces of Fear. Jimmy Hart managed a duo of Ming and the Barbarian as a fixture in the tag team division for quite a few years. Both wrestlers had reputations for being among the toughest guys in any wrestling locker room. The Faces of Fear had impressive feuds with the Harlem Heat, Outsiders, and many more. One reason they don't get as much love for their work, looking back, is that they didn't win the WCW Tag Team Championship. Ming and the Barbarian still deserve more appreciation for their great work together, though. Yes, they do. And that will end the article right there. And I see we've lost some listeners over this, but it's late. We've been on for 2 hours. Jimmy Hart, Mouth of the South, absolutely Flair X. Jimmy Hart was great in the 80s as a kid, man. He was just that, especially with Honky Tonk Man.
He's cool. He's cocky. He's bad.
He's the Honky Tonk Man. I always wanted to work on a card with him. Just to get to talk to him, just one of those guys that would have been cool to work with. I had more, wrestling talk I wanted to do tonight, but since it's midnight, I mean, and I know you've got about 4.5 hours, so you got to get up.
Ish.
So we could probably, I think we should probably cut it here. Do you think?
We could put this baby to bed here.
we can put her to bed. So I think with that being said, we've got let's recap. Antonio Brown is worthy of Mjolnir this week. We've covered the gamut. We've been on Anchor and YouTube this evening. So I am going to go ahead and say good night to all of you. Thank you so much. Be sure to bitch slap that like button on the way out here. You know what? I'll even do this right there. I'll even put my ugly mug up on the camera here. Thank you everybody for joining us. I really appreciate the viewership, and we did not plan matching shirts today, but
we did.
We did. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, man. So thank you, Lottie, for hanging out so late this evening.
Anytime, man.
And being in the place to be. Thank you guys, everybody. The Elite, Raiders of the Lost Flicks, Flair X, David Applegate, Goober Brothers Entertainment, Chris Wicks. Let's see, Admiral Tiberius. I said the Elite. I'm trying. I don't want to leave anybody out here. I'm scrolling way up to the beginning of the chat, and yeah, that's of course, man. Everybody, thank you. Subscribe if you haven't already. I have at least a video or two planned for tomorrow. My Halloween review, now that one I've had editing issues with, and I apologize for that. Like I said, the movie's already a fucking year old and I'm still trying to review it because I just watched it. And I just want to bitch about it because I love the franchise, but it's a bad movie.
Is it worse than the Rob Zombie ones?
No. No, I don't think. I would rather watch Halloween 4 and 5 over the Rob Zombie ones. I like Part 4. Part 4 was one of the first Halloween I watched. I saw 1, 2, and then 4. I didn't watch 3 for a while, but he says it's not worse than the Rob Zombie ones. Adam did, yeah. I can't say that it's worse than the Rob Zombie ones because the Rob Zombies are just ugh. But so, all right, guys. Coach Loudy, go ahead and say your good night, and I'll take us home.
All right, guys. It was a good game today. Speaking of good game, my guys actually won 8-0 today. Beat a team that I haven't beaten ever since I've been coaching. So that was good. Yeah, that's always good. Appreciate you guys joining us in the chat. We look forward to having y'all again in the Place to Be Reviews.
I love you, man. So you guys, there's no morning show tomorrow. My son is going to be home tomorrow, so I won't be doing a morning show. But Wednesday night, you're going to get another live episode right here on YouTube, The Place to Be Reviews. Temple Cooning's The Place to Be Reviews, now at 102 subscribers. And I want you to go over and subscribe to David Applegate's channel if you haven't already. Let's get him up to 100 next. Groovinator, Raiders of the Lost Flicks, we're going to get him up to 500 by the end of the year. That's my goal. Goober Brothers Entertainment, I want to see him anywhere from 50 to 100. Let's do this, man. Let's take this us down here in the Fandom Menace. We're the little guys, man. Let's build each other up. So if you don't subscribe to those channels yet, you very well should. So because we all have a voice here, and everybody's got their thing, and we all bring something to the table. So with that being said, I'll be back tomorrow with a pair of videos. I will see you Wednesday with a pair of videos. Wednesday night for the podcast right here, we'll have myself, MJ, Linkalex7, and my brother from another mother, Groovinator. And then we'll have an announcement about a upcoming toy stream that we're working on doing here. It's just going to be, it's not like a huge, like you have to have a massive collection of toys. You can have one thing that you really love. It doesn't matter. It's just got to mean something to you. And we want to know what it is, when you got it, and all that kind of fun stuff. But we're going to be doing that and a whole lot more coming up right here on the Place to Be Reviews. So with that being said, I am Temple Cooney, thanking you absolutely so much for joining us all. Be sure to subscribe to all these channels in the Fandom Menace. Like I said, man, David Applegate, Raiders of the Lost Flicks, Goober Brothers Entertainment. And if I'm missing anybody, trust me, it is not by design. I am exhausted right now. I'll be up in about 4 or 5 hours back to work. So I love you guys. And if I don't see you, have yourselves a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. And this is the point where we get to say perverted stuff until we go off the air.